I'm Vince Devall at the Eagle Homes, and we're here at the Eagles Nest podcast. And we have on the screen there at Loop Commons.
I'm Brad Brewer. I'm also with Eagle Homes, powered by Coldwell Banker. As you can see, Vince is not here today. This is weird. He's at his home office. I don't know what that fear thing is in the background, but it looks kind of fun. So I don't. That's okay. We can't see it. You can read it to us later.
All right.
So we have a special guest today. It's our first small business special guest. Some of you may recognize him. I think he's kind of Burlington famous a little bit.
Make me blush.
He'll say no, but let's face it, he is. Mike Spiegelhoff. Probably most of you know you from your family's days of grocery store ownership, gooseberries, and then you actually have a long history in the grocery business. So I don't know if we're gonna let him kick off and just kind of tell us about himself, his past. But what we're really gonna get to today is his business, Mobile Bogeys. It's a golf simulator. It moves, it travels. We'll get further into that. But Mike, just kick off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, history, family, whatever you want to talk about.
Cool. Born and raised Burlington. BHS, proud to be a demon. And then from there, went to the University of Wisconsin Parkside, have a business communications degree, and played college golf there for a few years. Walked on and then was thrown a scholarship my second year. So pretty exciting. And then after that, as he mentioned, got into the family business, as many of you guys know, as Gooseberries. Sold the store 2 years ago and sad about it, but it's one of those things. We were in the grocery business since 1914, so I was fourth generation. And as a single store operator, it kind of was just really hard to pull off. So sold that, and then I worked full-time as a production manager at TS Food Packaging. It's an all right gig, pretty good company. Robin and Michelle Voss, I'm sure many of you guys know them.
Our state assemblyman, yep.
Very generous people to their employees. Definitely willing to share the wealth when it's available. So everybody appreciates that. Buy lunch often. So if you guys are looking for a job, they are always hiring. Feel free to apply. And then when was it? August, I bought a golf simulator.
Okay.
And it consumes most of my nights and most of my weekends. And it is called Mobile Bogeys. We have it located above Low Daily, the brewery in town.
Okay.
So we do leagues Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and open tea times on the weekends. And leagues are booked solid, and the weekend business is slowly picking up as golf season is right around the corner.
So I'm going to kick off my first question. I'm going to back up because you skimmed over this part.
Sorry.
No, you wouldn't have known this. So, as Mike mentioned, he played college golf. I didn't know you were a walk-on. I actually thought you got a scholarship, so pretty kudos. So Mike's a scratch golfer. And, sometimes I start to think with the buddies I play with, like, I'm a pretty decent golfer, 6'8" handicap, definitely kick this guy on the screen's butt.
Yeah.
He kicks my butt sometimes too, but that's okay. Man, I always say, what's the difference between like a scratch golfer and a pro? It's an insane difference, right?
Yeah.
There's an insane difference, which I'm telling you right now, between a scratch golfer and a six, because like I'll have those shots here and there that just go awry. Man, I played this guy. It's like, does this guy ever miss?
I did have a shank that day. Remember that?
You did.
Right off the hosel into the weeds.
Yeah, I think I about peed myself when I saw it.
Hey, but Tiger does it too, so I don't feel bad.
They all do it.
They all do it.
So it's funny when you see those clips of the pros. I saw some highlight. It was just all the different shanks the guys hit.
Yeah.
Some do it quite more often than you think.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind about when you see these tournaments and these guys hit over into the crowd, and they just give these narrow passageways.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't think people just realize how often these guys do miss and can miss pretty bad. I mean, they got over there to begin with because they missed, right?
Right.
So it's kind of funny, but I just think it's hilarious that I think it's insane the skill difference it takes to be just that consistent. And I don't know if you watched any of the tournament this weekend, the Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler won it two years in a row now. I think he was 15 under to like 9 under or 10 under. I mean, that guy is just insane. And you could probably explain this more than others. You hear a lot on the broadcast the term good ball striker. You hear JT, Zalatoris, Scheffler. Oh, best ball striker. Well, of course you got to strike the ball to hit it. What does that mean?
So like what it boils down to is their misses most of the time are minimal. And when they do miss, they get up and down from pretty much anywhere. The weeds, 1 foot in the water, it's rare that you'll see multiple double bogeys on the card. A bogey is a bad hole for them and they can recover from that no problem. But the ball striking of the impact is just so pure all the time. You don't often get a high right shot that doesn't go anywhere. The compression on the ball is just so pure. There's no air.
They're hitting that sweet spot
all the time.
All the time. And I've seen shots of like when they show a player's club that they've had a while.
Yeah.
And the face of the club, and if your face of the club's my hand, like there's actually a worn out area right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's just how consistent they are.
Yeah. And they do it all day, every day, hitting balls in the range, practicing, just working on the consistent ball striking, because that's all what it boils down to. The swing doesn't really matter. It's the ball striking. Who cares what it looks like at top? Who cares what your finish looks like? What does it look like at impact, and what positions are you in at impact? That's all that matters. You look at Jim Furyk.
Oh yeah.
His swing is kind of quirky, or Matt Wolff. They have that out to in, but they're pure all the time. And their misses, even if it's a big miss, it's not because of the ball striking. It's more of like, I hit it well, the face was just open. Or I didn't account for this, or the wind, or whatever. But it is rare that they do miss that sweet spot.
That's a great explanation. I love that. And you do definitely see it, because when they're on and or they've got the wind out and whatever the other factors are. And to talk about how they judge the elements is just insane. Like Jordan Spieth is a fun one to listen to. Like they had the mic on him for about 2 minutes talking to his caddy yesterday on a shot that was kind of weird. And he probably broke it down, I felt like 10 different ways. It was just so cool.
Yeah.
So Vince, did you have any questions before we move on to the next thing? You look like you're itching there.
Well, you're talking about those misses. I don't know if you guys saw Jake Knapp this weekend take a 12. I think it was on hole 6, 2 in the water and then out of bounds. So, makes me feel good when you see that happen. Like I'm like, oh, even the pros could screw it up really bad. So yeah,
absolutely.
So Mike, quick question: Mobile Bogeys, besides just being a love for golf and having the leagues there, what are your normal hours of operation? Are you 9 to 5? What?
So we are open when the brewery is open. It didn't really make sense to be open if they're not, because everyone is encouraged to come through the brewery, grab a beer, and come up and see us because we're upstairs. So weekdays we're there at 4:00 till whenever the leagues are done. And the weekends, if we don't have tee times, we just don't sit up there and kind of do nothing. So noon to 8 or 9 on the weekends. But make a tee time, because if we don't have tee times, we're not, like I said, we're not just going to sit up there and wait for someone to come by. I mean, we'll be up there hitting balls occasionally if there's nothing going on, but yeah, we do it off tee time based only.
Tell us about your league. You have a cap of how many people can get in the league. I know this is the first year of your league, so bumps.
So we had a 10-week session earlier in the year, and we're almost done with our second 10-week session. And when we first started, it was like, okay, let's get as many guys in here as we can. And then we thought about it, and we're like, well, maybe that's not the best business model, because we don't know what we have yet. We don't know really how long it's going to take. Because going in and just golfing is one thing. Going in and drinking beer and golfing is a whole separate, animal really. So what we did is we took 4 guys or one team each night for that first session, and it worked out great because we learned a ton. And it kind of gave the guys time to, have fun, not like hurry up, you got someone behind you, hit the ball, let's go. Because golf's fun. It's supposed to be fun, and no one likes being pressured, especially when it comes to golf. And then the second session, we kind of opened it up, a little bit more flexible on the times and amount of people on the team. So we have some 2-somes that are a team, 4-somes, 3-somes. So we have 7 different teams this session.
Okay.
And we started this thing where, so every team combines their score for an average. And then everyone's playing for this winning pot. So it was $20 a person to get in this winning pot. And then what we did was, how do we make this pot bigger? So that there's some sort of incentive for the competition, that itch. So what we started doing was, if you hit a terrible shot, you pay us $5, you get a mulligan. That $5 then goes into the pot, and it's north of $1,000 already. And the winning pot just gets divvied up amongst the winning team.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Dang, Vince, we should have played.
I'm in.
He's in.
What,
He's in.
So how long does the night, are they playing 9 holes or 18 holes? And how long does it take?
It's just 9 holes. 4 guys, depending on, it's about an hour and a half for 4 guys to get through 9 holes. But again, it all depends, because there's groups that they'll walk up with a 4-pack of cans before they even tee off. And then others, they'll have maybe 1 beer and then call it a day. And again, I don't want to force people like, hey, hurry up, there's a group behind you. But there's also an element of our time's limited, and we want to try to get as many people through here in a night as we can. And we try to tell people, okay, your tee time is going to start at this time. So there is that element of trying to balance the times, but we haven't had any major issues when it comes to the timing of it all.
It's funny, in the timing of it is, it's faster than, like, if you take a foursome out, I know courses usually say about 4 hours, 4.5 hours for a round of 4. If you're moving at a good pace, our foursomes regularly finish in 4 hours pretty easily. You're about an hour quicker, it sounds like, on the simulator. Because I know when I've played the simulator, the foursome could be done in about 3 hours. As long as the machine, I've played some simulators that were slower, like just different because of the settings or whatever. But it sounds about right. So about an hour quicker on a simulator, just because you don't have those elements of finding lost balls, getting in the cart, whatever.
Exactly. We did have a scramble tournament the Saturday before the Super Bowl. So we had 8 guys, 2-man teams, so 4 teams, 8 guys. Winner take all. So the winning team got like $400 or something like that. And it was rowdy. And they had a blast. It took them about 4.5 hours to play all 18 holes. But by the end, everybody was definitely pretty tuned, and they were having a blast. So
that's the other factor on the time of playing golf is how liquored up you are.
Exactly. And then, the smack talking and the comments and the side betting and all that just escalates the more they drink and whatever. And I was there for 95% of it, and it was so funny to see how they started, because everyone was all kind of serious, like wanting to win. And then by like hole 12, they did not care. They're just drinking so much beer, having a blast.
They're just having fun, right?
Yeah.
I got 2 questions. One is, it's called Mobile Bogeys.
Yep.
This may lead to a few more questions. I always say 2 and end up with 4 questions. But so tell me about, what does the Mobile Bogeys mean? Like, I have a guess, and I already know, but I want you to tell everybody.
When we bought this thing, the original goal was like, hey, you're having a party, bunch of golfers, come set this up in my pole barn, and we'll have 8 guys and we'll play golf at my house. So we've had a few instances where we've had to do that, or got to do that, I should say, where we'll kind of pack this thing up, take it there, set it up for the day. They use it, we take it down, bring it back to where it is. Kind of a process to do that, but that's the ultimate goal, is to get it to the point where we're more at different locations than a single spot. The tricky part is not many people have the room to put, such an object, and then not even just the object of the simulator, but to be able to pull off a golf swing without putting a hole in someone's ceiling or, through someone's window.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that was the space we were going to require. Can you set it up outside?
You can. The problem is you need the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And if it's sunny out,
Yep.
the picture's kind of trash. You
Gotcha.
kind of need it to be a little darker by the screen so that the projector, you can see it.
Okay.
So we can, it's better inside.
So if I just want to have a party, say this summer, ideally, I'm gonna want to be, maybe in my garage, if I have good ceiling height.
Yeah.
Or in a shaded area if I'm putting it outside, but obviously in range of my Wi-Fi at my home.
Yep.
If I was going to have parties.
And we need power, obviously.
And power.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably the least of the problems.
Correct.
When you're dealing with some of the elements, I would imagine. I want to talk a little bit about there's different types of simulators. I think simulators also, especially in winter states like Wisconsin, are growing more and more popular. It's a great way for us golf junkies that love the game to kind of keep our game in tune over the wintertime. To me, there's varying qualities.
Totally.
What tell us about what your brand is, model, and why you like it, or why you looked at it versus maybe like TrackMans and stuff. Because I know it's not a TrackMan.
Yeah. So I've seen a few different instructors throughout my golf, I'll call it career. And the most recent instructor that I've seen, his name is Andy Podolak. Great dude, so knowledgeable. And he used TrackMan for a long time. So I called him up and I was like, yo, Swing, what do you think? And he's like, well, what are you going to be doing? So I was kind of telling him, and then he's like, come check out what I got, and then we can go into detail. So he used TrackMan, and then he switched to Foresight, the GC Quad and the GC3, which we have the GC3. So he's telling me all this information about the different stuff, and he said, TrackMan, great technology, great devices, but you're paying for a name. He's like, you're buying a Gucci purse and you don't need it. I can get behind that, TrackMan's used on tour everywhere. But what you see, or what you don't see, is the guys in the range. It looks like a little R2-D2 that they have next to their ball. That's a device we have. So when him and I were talking about it, he goes, the guys that are going to be using this, using your simulator, they don't necessarily need all the information the guys on tour are looking for. The smash factor. Some guys care about the spin rate, the launch angle, the compression effect. The list goes on and on of all this information that most golfers like. I don't even know what that means, Mike. How many degrees left? How many degrees right?
Inside, outside, inside,
right,
swing.
Exactly.
All those different things.
Degrees of openness of the club face or closed. And what it boils down to is most guys want to say, how far did I hit it? And is it offline? That's really about all that matters. And even that, the guys that come through, they just want to play golf. They want to play golf on a golf course and swing the club in the wintertime.
Yep.
So after going back and forth with Swing, we kind of narrowed it down is the price difference between what we have the GC3 and the GC Quad was like $8,000 more. I said, okay, for the first go at this, let's start here. And he's like, that's exactly what I would do. And I trust this guy when it comes to golf with everything I got, So I was like, he's not gonna guide me wrong. So that's what we did. And the information that the GC3 gives you, again, is still too much information for the average golfer. You were up there. You kind of saw the stats that it spits out, and
So I usually take a lesson or two over the winter with Jake over at Hawksview. Hey, Jake. Kudos to Jake. He's a great teacher. He does not have me look at a lot of numbers. We're basically looking at what you talked about. Is ultimately like, am I online? Is the shot going the right direction? And we're looking at carry distance and things like that, so that when we get outside, and I want that accuracy, and I know yours, I felt was very accurate. I have questions, and I know TrackMan is really good. The tour uses it, but I think a lot of people set up the TrackMans at the simulators I've been to that had them. I find them, they can be off 10, 15 yards. And I think it has a lot to do with setup, and they're real finicky, I think. I think yours is easy to set up, and you see it real quick, because I think the tour players use, and yeah, I do see yours out there. They set them down, it reads it, and they're easy to set up. You can set it down basically, and if you're ready to go, TrackMan, you gotta, I don't know, formulate all kinds of different stuff.
The
So.
TrackMan, you need your phone, a computer, a tablet to get the stats. Where our device, you set it down, you can take it on the golf course with you, and it'll tell you all your stats right there on the screen on the device.
Yeah.
So if you're banging balls outside in the range, it'll tell you all that information that the simulator will tell you on the device itself. So to me, it's more user-friendly when it comes to, I got 10 minutes, I'm gonna go hit balls. Boom, set it up, you're good to go with the TrackMan. A little bit more technical, and you need some more equipment to make it happen.
Well, and yours do, and speaking of this, all the different numbers it spits out and stuff like that, other than that, Jake had me looking at my spin rate just because my spin rate was high on my driver. Other than that, I remember one time we were looking at was my swing inside, outside, or outside to inside. It was like a degrees difference one way or the other. And I looked at him, I said, can I tell that if I'm just out hitting balls? He's like, no, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I do like that yours gives all the numbers, it gives the data, but there's just that certain information that you're looking for. And I think it's different for everybody. It depends on what you're working on in your game.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to not overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
So-
Just a question, otherwise.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
we talked about scheduling a tee time. How does someone go about scheduling a tee time, and what's it cost to either schedule an hour on the simulator or even to rent it for an event?
Yeah. So go to our website, mobilebogeys.com, and on there you can book your tee time. You can do hour, 2 hour, 7 hours, whatever you want. And then we get an email saying the hour is booked and it's from this time to this time. Hour is typically not long enough for the average golfer, unless you're going solo, playing by yourself, which cool, but most of the time people get going like, hey, can we get another hour? And if someone's behind them, obviously the answer is no, but if no one's there, yeah, the answer is of course. And it's $40 an hour. And let's say you want to take it to your house, have us set it up. It kind of all depends on where you live, how long you want it for, and really the location of it and the amount of work that's going to go into setting it up. But typically it'll be around $500, depending. I'll say that's a safe number, is 500 for the day.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's not bad, if you're gonna have a party at your house anyway, you're gonna hire a band or some sort of entertainment, you're gonna spend that in. That's actually,
Yeah.
I think it's a really good rate. I like that. What if I wanted it for the month?
We'll have to discuss that.
We won't put you on the spot on that number, so.
I did tag Mobile Bogeys on the Facebook page here, along with adding your guys' website. So, for
Great,
those that are watching live right now, you can go to the mobilebogeys.com or click on their Facebook page, and it'll kind of navigate you through that as well. So we will also get this to you through YouTube too, Mike.
Yeah,
Cool,
so
thank you.
one other question, kind of future and present. I noticed recently too that you're now offering lessons.
I am. I would not say that I am I'm not a PGA pro, but to go and take the course and the books and all that, I am very confident that would be no problem for me. And to take the PAT test again, should be no problem for me. I've been playing golf since I was 7. Like I said, high school, college, seen a few instructors. The guys I've seen have had guys on tour, and I understand what the golf swing requires. And really the knowledge of just going through it, the ups and downs, and like, what does it take to become a better golfer? Not even a pretty golf swing, a better golfer. Because some golf swings are not pretty, but they work. And it's about being efficient with your golf swing and knowing what to look for. Because if someone's not behind you telling you, it's hard to see what you're doing wrong. Or what to change. And it could be move this finger here. And that makes all the difference in the world. Or when you're hitting this bump and run, try bringing your hands up, get the heel off the ground, get the toe more down. So it's more of just my experiences that I feel like I can help most golfers. Now, can I take you and put you on the PGA Tour? Probably not. And I don't claim that either, but I do feel like with what I've seen and been through that I could definitely improve most people's golf swings.
I can definitely attest to that. I've been out with Mike and he's given me a couple things here and there. Actually, you're usually pretty complimentary overall. What I do like, I watched you with our buddy Matt's son, who's playing high school golf right now. I know, which I think you were itching to work with the kid because, man, this kid is close to being awesome.
He's coming in next weekend.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That is great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And I watched you how you worked with him, and you complimented and then you said, hey, tweak this, tweak that, which I'm always bad, but I also, like, between Vince and I, like, a couple of our buddies were like, hey, can you help me with this or help me with that? Because we know enough to be dangerous. I'm not as good at that. I can maybe see a few things. Vince is actually really good. Like, he'll watch my golf swing and be like, hey, you're doing this or you're doing that. He's better than that than me, but I think it's a skill. And I've actually watched both of you do it. And you're really good at it. So I love the fact that you're doing lessons. I saw that and wanted to mention that. And if you're just I like your approach, just improve your scoring, your game. I would highly recommend it.
Because I feel like a lot of golfers I just want to hit it far. Well, great, we all do. But it's not about the distance. So much of it's about course management. And when it's nicer out, I hope that I can take some of these people out and say, let's just go and play a few holes. And I'll just walk you through my logic on a lot of this stuff. I don't care you missed the green. Here's what we're going to do to get you up and down to save par. And if you're going to miss, where are you going to miss? Miss on the safe side. Don't go pin seeking every single hole. There's just no need for it. Hit it to the center of the green, make a putt, call it a day,
Are you big on stats? Like, you got all these apps now, like Vince and I both use the Grins.
Yeah.
It keeps a lot of stats.
I'm on there.
Yes, you are. You kick my butt in the rankings all the time on everything, but
to me, stats, the biggest one is how many putts did I have?
Okay.
And how many greens I hit.
Okay.
It's really all that matters. And even hitting fairways, does it really matter? No. Is it easier to hit the green from the fairway? Typically, but not all the time. You could hit a drive right down the middle and miss the fairway, miss the green.
There's this one here, and I'll ask you your opinion on it. So they changed something where they give insight, so it breaks it down on different parts of your game, your handicap on different parts of your game.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, I'll use mine as an example. I'm actually, like, my weaknesses are my driving accuracy and approach, but my putting's like a 3.5, whereas my driving accuracy is actually a 36 handicap. But so how much do you pay attention, or what would you say are the important ones? You said obviously putting, and then what else would be
the ability to get up and down.
Got it.
I mean, you look at the guys on tour, most time they hit it pretty close to the fairway.
Sure.
But the guys that hit it, bomb and gouge, they are getting up and down from everywhere and making putts. What were the stats on Scotty Scheffler's putting yesterday? It was 15 putts under 15 feet he made in a row.
Yeah.
You're going to win golf tournaments that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because even the pro, I think the pro 10 to 15 foot range is like, it's under 50%, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know where under 50%. And mine's like from I think 10 to 15 feet is like 20%. I mean, it's just look at, that's a huge difference, about 30%, right?
Right. And really the biggest thing, and my putting is not the best. I wish I could spend more time on it, but that is how you get from an 8 down to like a +2 is not anything, but within 6 feet, you got a good chance of making it. And the technique is there and the rolling the ball is there. And then you miss the green in the sand, out of the sand to a few feet, you're making the putt.
Got it.
So, I mean, driving the ball far is cool and all, but really comes down to making the putts and putting it close when you miss the green.
Got it. Well, we're over today, but sorry, I had a feeling this would happen because I know Vince and I are both crazy golf junkies. I know you've been a golf nut your whole life.
Yeah.
Anything else about Mobile Bogeys or anything you want to wrap up with? And or Vince, do you have any other questions for Mike before we wrap up? So
No,
I'll let him the last word.
He covered a lot of it. We got his website out there shared. Got some insight on what you're doing, how you're doing it, and where at. So love it, man. Can't wait to come try it out.
Yeah, please do. And if you're at Low Daily and you hear us upstairs, just poke your head in and see what it's all about.
Cool.
Appreciate the time, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a total geek this morning. This was fun. I love real estate, but
Yeah.
this might be the one career path. If I could do it other than real estate, I definitely would. So this has been fun. Thank you very much for joining us. Business owners out there, we definitely want to highlight your business. We love the small businesses. They're a lifeline to our area, our country, everything. So please let us know if you'd like to join us and talk a little bit about your business. Vince, got anything else? Otherwise, I'll wrap it up here.
Oh, let's wrap it up. Thanks, Mike.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks, everybody. Again, Brad Brewer, Eagle Homes with the Coldwell Banker Realty, and with my partner here and his sidekick today on the screen there. Say hi, Tegan. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.